So I'm Lucy Harrington, and I'm a conservation planner at Westervelt Ecological Services. Today we are touring the Big Gun Conservation Bank located in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada in Northern California. This site supports the largest population of California red-legged frogs, which is a federally threatened species, and survives on this area, which is about 50 acres. This property used to be the epicenter of hydraulic mining in the late 19th century, and the area had become completely decimated because of these activities. But as a result of those, 6 ponds formed on the site, which now provide habitat for this species, allowing it to endure in an area where most of the population has disappeared. So for me as a biologist, this site is very inspiring because it used to be completely washed out as part of a mine, and now it's become this biological paradise for both the red-legged frog as well as a litany of other wildlife species. So we're standing by another one of the ponds on the Big Gun Conservation Bank site. When we first purchased this site about 5 years ago, this pond had pretty much no vegetation on it, as a lot of it had been removed and disturbed by previous landowners who were still doing a little bit of hobby gold mining on the site. But since we've purchased the site, put a conservation easement on it, started managing it specifically for the red-legged frog, this habitat has been allowed to really develop, resulting in these nice willows that provide good cover for the red-legged frog. And pretty much every time we're up here, we now see at least one large female hiding out in the roots of these willows. So it goes to show how this bank provides a lot of habitat, and by turning this property into a bank, we've really assisted in recovery and habitat restoration just through preservation of this property. We're now standing at Pond 3 of the Big Gun Conservation Bank, and at this particular site, this is an area where we hand trimmed some vegetation because when we first purchased this site, this area was starting to become overgrown with manzanita and ponderosa pine, which was closing out the canopy and limiting the thermoregulation areas for the red-legged frog, which of course is vital for their survival, being cold-blooded species. So we came out here with just some hand tools and some sweat, and we trimmed this area down to leave this area open while still maintaining a lot of escape cover along the perimeter of the pond for the frogs to jump into, as well as the water itself to escape from predators. One of the main predators in this area is a great big black bear that we've seen a few times, as well as some mountain lions, because the El Dorado National Forest is immediately adjacent to this site to the east, and so this is a big corridor for that wildlife to go through. So there's a fair amount of predation, but also a lot of really cool opportunities to see wildlife here, showing how this bank not only provides habitat for listed species, but also habitat for other animals that depend on this ecosystem for their survival.